Imagine for a moment that your partner hasn't texted you all day and you can't help but worry if they're ignoring you or thinking about breaking up with you. You keep checking your phone, hoping to see a message from them, but it never comes. You start to feel anxious and unsure of yourself and your feelings. In this scenario, you are experiencing what is known as anxious attachment in psychology. Anxious attachment is one of 4 main attachment styles, which are patterns of a deeply ingrained behavior and thinking that people exhibit in close relationships. It affects how you relate to others and act in social situations, especially romantic ones. And it often stems from childhood experiences and the relationship you have with your parents or caregivers. Anxious attachment is characterized by a deep-seated fear of losing your partner, which leads to heightened feelings of worry, jealousy, and possessiveness. People with an anxious attachment style tend to have a strong need for closeness and reassurance from their partners. They often experience intense emotions and may become overwhelmed with feelings of anxiety or jealousy when they feel separated from their loved ones. On the other hand, avoidant attachment is marked by a tendency to suppress your emotions and avoid getting too close to others. People with an avoidant attachment style often find it difficult to trust and rely on others and may feel uncomfortable with long-term closeness or intimacy. Now let's take a look at the 4 different attachment styles: secure, anxious, avoidant, and disorganized. This video will focus mainly on the anxious and avoidant attachment styles. Number 1, secure attachment style. This is the ideal attachment style. It's when you feel comfortable with both intimacy and independence. In relationships, you trust your partner and feel confident in your ability to communicate effectively with them. You have a positive self-image and don't feel the need to change who you are in order to please them. You know who you are, what you want, and aren't afraid to express it. You also know how to compromise and take responsibility for your actions. This makes it easy for you to build trust and rapport with others and maintain healthy, fulfilling relationships. Number 2, anxious attachment style. People with this attachment style often have a strong desire for closeness and intimacy in relationships. However, this desire is usually accompanied by a deep-seated fear of losing their partner. As a result, individuals with an anxious attachment style tend to become overly dependent on their partners for validation and reassurance. They may constantly worry about the status of their relationship and feel a strong need to know where their partner is and what they're doing at all times. This can lead to feelings of jealousy and possessiveness, as well as a tendency to overanalyze every interaction. For example, you might feel anxious when your partner doesn't respond to your text messages right away, assuming the worst and worrying that they're ignoring you or that they've lost interest in you. These feelings can be so overwhelming that they can make it difficult for someone with an anxious attachment style to feel secure in their relationships. Even if their partner assures them that they are loved and valued, they may still struggle to believe it. Ultimately, people with an anxious attachment style crave love and connection, but their fear of losing their partner gets in the way. Number 3, avoidant attachment style. Those with an avoidant attachment style tend to suppress their emotions and avoid getting too close to others. They often find it difficult to trust and rely on others and may feel uncomfortable with long-term closeness or intimacy. People with this type of attachment style may also have a hard time asking for help or admitting when they're wrong. They may try to be self-sufficient and independent, but this can end up hurting them in the long run. For example, you might push people away when they get too close to you because you do not feel deserving of their love or care. You may believe that it's better to be alone than to have to rely on someone else for your happiness, but this can lead to feelings of loneliness and isolation, even when you're surrounded by people. Ultimately, people with an avoidant attachment style avoid love because they fear losing their independence or having to face their own emotions. And number 4, disorganized attachment style. People with this attachment style often have a mix of anxious and avoidant tendencies. They may feel a strong desire for closeness and intimacy, but also have a fear of commitment or a tendency to self-sabotage their relationships. This can lead to a lot of emotional turmoil and make it difficult to maintain stable and fulfilling relationships. If you think you might have an anxious attachment style, there are a few things you can do to help manage your symptoms. First, it's important to be aware of your attachment style and the negative thought patterns and behaviors that accompany it. Once you've done that, you can start to challenge your negative thoughts and replace them with more positive and realistic ones. This can be difficult at first, but with practice it becomes easier. Additionally, you should try to avoid depending on your partner for your own happiness. Instead, focus on building a strong sense of self-worth and self-love. This will help you feel more secure in your relationships and less anxious about the possibility of losing your partner. Finally, open and honest communication with your partner is essential. Share your feelings and needs with them and be willing to compromise. If you feel anxious, don't bottle it up. Instead, talk to your partner about what's making you feel uneasy and work together to find solutions. By taking these steps, you can learn to manage your anxious attachment style and create healthier, more fulfilling relationships. If you think you have an avoidant attachment style, it can be helpful to first become aware of your tendencies to self-protect and avoid intimacy. You can also challenge any negative beliefs you may have about love and relationships. Try to be open to the idea that others can be trusted and that intimacy can be a positive and fulfilling experience. It may also be helpful to seek out therapy or counseling to explore your attachment style and develop healthier coping mechanisms. With time and effort, you can learn to form more meaningful connections with others and experience the benefits of love and belonging. Remember, regardless of your attachment style, every relationship is unique, and it's important not to make assumptions about your partner based on their attachment style alone. Open communication and a willingness to understand and compromise with your partner are key to building a strong, lasting relationship. If you learned something new here, please share this video with a friend. We would greatly appreciate it if you could leave us a comment below about what you learned today. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you won't miss any new videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time.